All right, good morning. It's Friday, May something, 8th, I think. Oh, it's so easy to lose track. Okay, so we'll get started in just a moment. Or thank you for tuning in after the fact. Just gonna get my time reminder set up here. And my mat out. Today's practice will incorporate pigeon. Good morning. I think I can do it. Is good morning, Sharon. Thank you so much for tuning in again and again and again. Wonderful that we are at least able to connect in this way. Let me see. So just an example of what I'm talking about here. For pigeon, we're not going to do this yet, but just so you often, use a blanket, towel, or something. You're going to have one leg out in front of you like so. And often that means your butt's quite a ways off the floor. And you'll get a lot more, out of the pose. Happiness, release, etc. If you've got something that you can fill in that gap with. And sometimes that pose is just not for our bodies on that day. And you're going to do figure 4 lying on your back instead, which I will show at that time. You don't need to see that now. But anyway, just putting that out there now in case you know that for yourself you want to grab some cushion or something. I just realized I don't have my earbuds in. 1 second. Let me get moving a little slow this morning. But I'm here, and you're here, and I am incredibly grateful. Okay, you know what? Bear with me. There was one more thing I wanted to do. Just a Okay. All right. It's running a little behind today, but I think this extra step will be worth it. So what I'm doing here is okay, so that's connected. Okay, one moment. Something I meant to do but forgot was set my computer up to Ethernet instead of just relying on Wi-Fi, because my computer is that old that it can do that. My apologies, I didn't get this done before hitting live, but as we've had some connection issues, I think this is going to be a worthwhile thing to do, and I'll try and remember to be in future more on top of. Okay, Ethernet's connected. Wonderful. Okay, so hopefully having this, using actual corded internet instead of Wi-Fi, maybe it's going to help with some of the connection issues that we've had. We'll see. Do I really know? I don't know. This is all just new and an experiment. Okay, one block. I know I have 2. There we go. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Thank you for your patience this morning. Let's lie down on our backs to start today. Right. So just the knees bent, feet flat. So you're just letting the spine do what it wants to do, letting the pelvis do what it wants to do. Just feeling the breath move in and out of your body. You might bring the arms up to cactus arms, or also known as goalpost arms, if that feels good, on your chest and shoulders. Okay. Pull both knees into your chest. And then straighten the left leg and let that go down onto the mat. Just need a little more space here. All right, and then we're just gonna sway this right knee side to side. So we're gonna bring it down towards the floor on the right and then cross it over to the left. And you can let that twist however much you want. And keeping that right knee as close to your chest as you can as you sway it side to side. Let's go a couple more, and I'm kind of trading off my leg here from one arm to the other. And come back to center, and bring the left knee in to join the right. Right leg straightens and goes down onto the floor. And then sway that left knee side to side. Drop it down to the left, letting it roll over to the right. Good. And the pace you go here, that's totally up to you. Let's go a couple more. Just making sure that breath is still moving as the body's moving. It can sometimes be easy to forget. All right. 2 knees into the chest. Give it a squeeze. All right. And then roll over to one side. Almost like you're going to come up to all fours, but instead your hands just push you sideways up on top of your hips. Okay. And then I'm going to make this the front of my neck. Come into a tabletop here on your mat. Bones stacked like scaffolding. Good. So feel some firmness in your belly here, supporting the neutral curves of the spine. All right, we're going to do some alternating bird dog lifts. So you reach right arm, left leg out, and bring them back down, and repeat other side. So we're lifting opposite arm and leg. Let this be as much about length as it is about lift. Alternate sides a few more times. Okay, and keep your gaze on the floor so you're not overworking the back of your neck. Not like pulling your chin under to your chest. This is just a nice long neutral neck. Okay, and then let's bring that back to a child's pose. Of course, do one more if you need to do that to get evened out. All right. And then let's come on up to tabletop. So if you are using some blocks or other props to bring the floor to you, go ahead and set those up at the front of your mat. So I have mine just off to the sides. It's kind of where I've found I like to put them. All right, from your tabletop, let's tuck the toes under and lift up to a downward dog. And today, let's step our feet as wide as the mat. So really take those feet wide for a moment. And let yourself sway side to side, everything going right, then everything going left. Okay, then step the feet back to hip distance apart. All right, and you can hold your downward dog, or we're going to alternate between plank and downward dog a few times. Inhaling, coming forward to plank. Firm legs, firm belly. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. One more time, coming forward to plank. And back to downward dog. From downward dog, walk or hop your feet forwards to come to a forward fold at the front of your mat. So your hands might come up onto your props here, if that's helpful. Okay. Let your knees bend a lot. Good. And let your neck kind of fall out of the shoulders. Ribs fall out of the waist. Nice juicy bend in the knees here. Good. And you might turn this way so you can see. You might clasp your elbows here and kind of let your head be framed by the arms. Maybe you sway side to side. Then let the arms hang down. Okay. And we're just gonna let our head, our shoulders hang forwards. Let the arms hang nice and soft. I'm gonna roll up with a really round spine, stacking from bottom to top. So and then on top of your pelvis, stack your lower back, then middle back, then upper back. Shoulders, neck, head. Ooh, standing upright. All right, inhale, get a bit taller. Exhale, chin to chest. Shoulders round forwards. Essentially, we're going to go back down to forward fold. In the way that we stood up. We're just rewinding down to that forward fold. Good. Let those knees be soft. If they want to go a bit straighter, if that feels okay on the hamstrings, great. Good. And roll back up. Now just be mindful of what's the right amount of stretch right now. What's the right amount of straight? Good. So what still allows you to breathe, through a reasonable sensation of stretch. Good. All right. So from standing here, take the arms up overhead into a Kali Mudra. And what that means is the fingers are interlaced, the index fingers are free. There we go. Now I'm fitting in. All right. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hips sway left, upper body goes right. Good. Arms still very actively reaching out as you side bend. And use an inhale to lift up out of that side bend. And exhale to go the other way, hips swaying right. Good. And legs are long, but they're not locked. Arms still actively reaching away, fingers reaching away. And inhale, come up. Exhale, let the arms come down. All right. So now take the hands behind your head. And you are not going to lift your head, you're going to lift your chest. Okay, so there might be enough lift of the chest that it starts to move your gaze upwards. And part of what the hands are doing here is keeping that length in the back of the neck. Let's really puff that chest up. All right, let's bring that back to center. Let the arms come down. Let's start to move through our modified sun salutations. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, diving forwards, hands to floor or blocks. Step the left foot way back on your mat. And now flatten your back foot down. Turn it out about 45 degrees. Heel lowers down. Strong bend in the front leg. And we bring the arms up to a warrior one. Good, and that pinky edge of your back foot is suctioning down. If it's not able to fully flatten, decrease the length of your stance a bit until you can. Okay, and with our arms up overhead, take an inhale, shrug the shoulders up, squeeze them up to the ears. Now as you drop the shoulders, keep reaching up through the arms. So exhale, you drop. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, they drop. But the arms continue their reach. Nice. Maybe a little more bend in that front leg. And keep drilling that back leg into the floor. Okay. And lower the hands down to floor or blocks. Step that left foot forwards, passing through forward fold to go to Virabhadrasana 1 on our other side. Right foot steps back. Good. That foot turns out to flatten the heel down. Arms and chest come up, warrior one. Right, so fully flat back foot. And then inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, drop the shoulders. And one more time, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, let them go. Nice. Yeah, so using energy, but just the energy you need and conserving the energy that you don't need. So these are times that can really, a multitude of things can really take our energy from us. So what really needs our energy and what doesn't? Let's bring those hands down. Step that right foot forwards. Good. Inhale, come up to a long, flat back. Exhale, fold back down. This time, lengthen, then stand all the way up with a big overhead reach. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Okay, this time that back knee is going to lower down to the floor into a low lunge. So if that means that you want some knee padding, maybe go ahead and set that up. All right, so from the top of our mat, we inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to floor or blocks. Step the left foot way back on your mat. Good, and knee lowers down. And arms come up. Hips lean forwards. Next, imagine those butt cheeks are trying to bring your sits bones closer together. That's the kind of squeezing in and up engagement that you want from those muscles. So we lean forward into the stretch. Okay. And then bring that right hand to the right thigh, wherever it easily lands, and side bend to your right. So I'm taking a side bend towards my front leg. And if you're not sure, it's the side bend that's way easier to balance than the other way. And let's inhale, come up. Let's take 2 arms up again. Bring the hands down. Step your left foot forwards. And take the right foot back. Knee lowers down. Arms come up. Good. And your butt is squeezing to send the hips forwards. But there's also this kind of squeezing in and up, as if your butt is trying to lift your pelvis up off of your back thigh. Left hand to left thigh. Right arm arcs you over to a side bend. Inhale to come up. 2 arms up. Hands lower down. Right foot comes forwards. Do a forward fold. Inhale, come up to a long flat back. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your hearts. Okay, so we're not going to have our knees down for a little bit yet, so if you'd rather have that blanket out of the way, you can move that. Okay, so take those feet nice and wide and arms out in a big T. All right, we're going to make some slicing motions. So left hand towards right foot and back up, and other side. And up. So the hand does not actually have to touch the foot. Good. Stay firm in your core here. So just gently going in and out of that stretch. Okay, just to that right amount of reach for you. And keep that wingspan nice and big here. Let's go 2 more each side. Good. Okay, hands to the hips. Turn the right toes out all the way. I'm going to mirror you up here right now. And then turn the toes in a little bit, if they can, without bothering the ankle on that left side. Bend the right knee. And I'm finding my stance wants to go a bit longer so that my right knee stays over my right heel. As I bend that down into a warrior 2. And today, let's take our right hand, grab the inside, kind of underside of that thigh, and like you're trying to pull your inner thigh up on top of that quad there. Just give it a pull up. Just kind of feel how that activates the muscles of that quad. You might be feeling a bit more in that right butt cheek now. If so, great. Good. And stretch the arms out. And that right foot is staying fully flattened down. All right, and hands to hips. Straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes in a little bit. Left toes out all the way. Bend the left knee. Warrior 2. And take that left hand to the inside of that left thigh, even down under, not just inside, I should say. All right, and then pull that thigh on top. Wrap it around. Good. So maybe you're now feeling a bit more work in that left glute. Good. And arm stretch out. This left foot stays fully flat. Sometimes we push the knee back so much that the inside edge of the foot starts to come off. We don't quite want to go there. Okay, we want to still keep that big toe mound of the left side rooted down. Soft gaze over that left middle finger. Good. pelvis is heavy. Sometimes it kind of wants to sass a bit, but we want, instead of sassy hips, we want just fierce dropping down onto those legs, hips. Yeah. I feel like this crazy lockdown time, there's a lot of use for fierce feeling poses here. You know, with so much that really is outside of our control, it can be easy to lose sight of what is, and that we really do still have a voice. Hands to hips and rotate back to center. And that there are things that we do have control over. Okay. Turn the right toes out all the way, left toes in a little bit. Side angle pose. So maybe there's a prop for your right arm. Let's set up a nice, strong, long warrior two. And then lean over. Maybe that's elbow on thigh. Maybe that's the hand reaching down for a prop. Could be either side of that right foot. I kind of like to change it up, you know, which side that prop goes on, because, yeah, just affects the pose differently, and all of those effects are useful. Use an inhale to come back up to warrior two. And let's pivot over to our left. Okay, for side angle on our left side. Okay. So if it's applicable to you, bring your prop. Find that warrior two. And side angle on your left side. Whatever that shape is for you. I do recommend bringing that left arm, for you, it's your right arm, close to your head here. I like the length, you know, how bringing the arm close here, how that really affects the side stretch down the rest of the body. Inhale to come up to warrior two. Good. All right. Pivot that back over to the right side for triangle, Trikonasana. So this time we keep both legs straight. Okay, we still got those back toes turned in if you can, or at least you're encouraging that in this direction, right? So there's this back out to front energy going on in this left thigh. Okay, both quads are pulling those kneecaps up, so this straightening energy is upward as opposed to pressing into the backs of the knees. Hips glide to your left, upper body goes right, your right hand comes down wherever it easily lands, keeping some lift in that right armpit and that right leg straight. So that might be to the leg, it might be to your prop or the floor. Thanks, and make sure that there is breath happening here. And then the right knee, warrior two. And pivot on over to your left side. And back toes in, front toes out all the way. Good. Your hips sass to your right. Your upper body goes left. Good. And hand down, left hand down, right arm up. So you guys might be all the way up at that top arm. Good. For me personally, my neck span kind of stiff lately. We can't imagine why. So I'm looking kind of towards up towards the wall meets the ceiling here. I'm not looking quite so up at my hand, and that's just better on my neck today. It honors my neck. And the left knee. Lift that back up to warrior two. Pivot on over to center. Good. Maybe there's a prop there for your hands to land on for your forward fold. So first with hands on hips, good. Press the pelvis down. Give those outer hips a little heaviness and rooting down towards the outer feet. As you inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, stay long, long, long as you can. As you start that fold, and maybe you stay long or you let it round forwards. Right. Inhale, come up to a long flat back. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale to stand all the way up. All right, let's get those feet on in. Okay. We're gonna lie down on our belly. You can just take yourself on down there or come with me, kind of sun salutation style our way down. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Then round forwards. Good. From that forward fold to a downward dog. And from that downward dog, shift forward to high plank. Good. And then hold that plank tight as you slowly lower down. Good. We are going to lift up into locust pose and then turn that into a sphinx. Little transition I've had a lot of fun with lately. I just kind of like how my sphinx feels if I get that engagement in the back body from doing locust and then add the support of the forearms. All right. I'm gonna be more specific than that. Like, what are you talking about, Kat? All right, so first, good. Lengthen that tailbone back. Feel that butt engage first. Then lift your chest, thighs, arms, legs, all up off of the mat. Good. Now keep this squeeze in your back and your butt as you bring the elbows to the floor under your shoulders. And then, yes, do let those legs come down to the floor. Good. And broad lifted chest. All right. Take a little more time here. If you want, you can do some alternating knee bends. So bring that heel as close to your seat as you bend the leg. I'm aiming to keep and windshield wiper them side to side. All right. And let's just lie down on our belly. Nice and simple. Good. Turn your head to one side. And you might goalpost your arms here. So elbows are at shoulder height and bent to 90 degrees. Or the arms can be back along your side. Recenter your head. You're going to do another locust pose, just a locust pose. Yogi's choice with your arms. You might float them up, goalpost style. They might interlace behind back. Or they might just be along your side, but not clasped. Roll your inner thighs up a little more. Find movement, find room for the breath. And lower down. And turn your head to the other side. Return the head back to center. Reach the left arm out in front of you. And bend your right knee. If you can, with your right hand, grab that right foot. Good. If not, you might use a towel, a strap to grab a hold of that foot. But there's also a lot of benefit in just using the muscle to bring that foot in towards you and just staying in that and not worrying about the foot grab. There's a lot of great benefit to be had there in terms of hamstring strength and hip mobility. In fact, let's all do that. Let's not grab our foot. So let go of your foot if you just held it. Anyway, just change my mind. So first, just press this hip down with your right hand. You might even try and stick your fingers under your hip, just to make sure you're really keeping that hip open and pressed down in the front. And we're going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that right heel towards you. Okay. And then maybe you stay here. Maybe you grab the foot. There we go. Because a big part of being able to grab your foot is also having the strength and mobility for the foot to come to you enough to grab it. So just the hand chasing the foot alone is not going to do it. Foot's got to also bring itself to you. All right. And then if you want a little extra to that, if you are holding the foot, kick the foot into the hand, but don't let go, don't let go. Float them up, half a bow, and then come down and switch sides. All right, so left knee bends. First, we're not going to grab our foot. You're just going to keep pressing that hip down. What your left hand might do right now is try and slide under the front of your hip. So where your hip would crease, if you were standing and you lifted your knee up, that's what we're trying to smush down. It's also what's probably going to want to lift up. And you're squeezing, squeezing, squeezing that left heel towards us. Right. Then maybe you stay here. Maybe you grab the foot. That's certainly tougher for me on this side. And then for a little extra, if you want, kick the foot into the hand. Float up, float up, float up. And then let that go. Release the foot. All right, let's sit back on the heels in child's pose. Take a little more time in your child's pose. I'm just going to see if my headphones here are still connected to my computer. They don't seem like they are. And that might be fixable, it might not. Okay. Alrighty, so from that child's pose, We're going to lift up into a downward dog to then bring our right leg forward to pigeon. So this is where you might be wanting to prop up that right hip somehow if there's a lot of space between it and the floor. It might make your knee a lot happier. You might get a much better stretch. All right, I'm turning angling here just so you can kind of see what my right leg's gonna do. So I'm coming up to a downward dog. If you want to take a little sweep up first, you can. Ooh, a little left calf. And then bring it forward so that outer shin is landing in front of you. So you might be able to sink fairly close to the floor. Might even be like, no, we're staying up here. And this is where I've used a couch cushion. I have found that to be a great thing to use here. Yeah, so our body often when we're really at the end range of a stretch, it doesn't really like feeling, that there's no stopping point. Yeah. Okay. So this is where some support here can be really helpful. So if that's bothering your right knee, or really either of your knees, but more likely the right one is the one that's going to be bothered. You lie on your back. We've done this a bunch. Figure 4, right ankle on the left thigh, and you pull that in. And voila, you're essentially doing a pigeon, just flipped over the other way. Flipped over like a pancake. And now that I've said that, I want some pancakes. Power of suggestion. Good. So, you might stay kind of upright. You might let that come down to a forward fold. And obviously, if you're in figure 4, you're in figure 4. Okay. Now, for those of you in pigeon, okay, so these little knee bends that we did before, just try and bring that left heel in and then back. And so not trying to grab the foot yet. If that bothers the knee, skip it. If you're in figure 4, keep grooving your figure 4. Okay, so last bit here. Extra thing you can try if you want. Bend that left knee. If you reach back with the right hand, ooh, that was almost out of reach. Can you grab the foot? So I definitely got some hamstring strength to work up here on my left side. All right, let that go. And we're going to switch sides. So pick up to downward dog. If you're lying on your back in figure 4, you're just going to switch sides in your figure 4. All right. So placing that left leg in front. Good. So more stretch. Left knee goes more out to the side and the left foot comes more forwards. Good. But don't take that left foot so far forwards that starts to whirl you out onto your side like this. Okay, then we've lost our benefit there for that piriformis and other external rotators that we're stretching. Yeah. So only left foot forwards the amount that this right hip can still stay really forwards as well. And maybe we bring that down to a forward fold. Oh man, I banged my left forearm on something yesterday. Whew, I'm just very, very aware of that bruised area. Okay. And then maybe a few knee bends of that back leg. If you're in pigeon, if that's okay, on the knee. And then maybe trying to reach back with that left hand. Oh, to grab the foot. Ha. Okay. You're doing yoga either way. All right, release. Climb your way on up out of this. Take a moment in downward dog. All right, and then whether you're on your back or you're in downward dog, your next destination is sitting with the legs stretched out in front of you. Okay, this can also be a great place for a little boost under the hips. Right, stretch those legs out. Move the flesh out from under the sits bones. If you like to use a towel strap to assist your forward fold, feel free to use one. Stretch the arms up and fold forwards. Use an inhale to roll on up from this forward fold. All right, next we're gonna lie down on our backs. Okay. And because I was kind of putzing around a bit this morning and we got off to a late start, we are gonna go a little over 9 today, just to kind of get a full hour here. But I understand if anyone needs to pop off earlier than that. All right, knees bent, feet flat. Let's just let our knees sway side to side. Little loosey-goosey sway. All right, bring that on back to center. Arms by your side. And let's lift up to bridge pose. Press those heels into the floor to activate the hamstrings, backs of thighs, pressing up into the fronts of the thighs. Outer shoulders roll down. Maybe you take a little shift side to side to roll them under even more. All right, and let's roll on down. Good. Bring the knees into your chest. All right, and little scooch of the hips to the left. Knees drop and stack to your right. Head and chest turn to your left to twist. And then unwind out of your twist. And scooch the hips a little to your right of center. Knees drop and stack to your left. Head and chest turn to your right. Unwind out of your twist. All right, recenter the hips. Plant the feet. Setting up for one more bridge pose. Lifting those hips up. And something you might play with this time around. So scooch those arms as close to each other as you can under your back. Elbows stay on the mat. Bend your arms. Can you make a platform with your palms for your sacrum? So can you kind of slide the hands underneath? So shoulders might not agree with this, wrists might not agree with this, so don't force it if they don't. Okay, but if you are like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of holding my own self up here, then feel free to play with that for a moment. And when you're ready, come on down. I'm going to open up to reclining butterfly, soles of feet together. Arms where they want to go. So maybe that's one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Good, or hands on thighs. Goal post arms sometimes feels nice at this point. The hands, the outsides of the thighs to assist the knees back up and together. We're going to do one more spinal twist each direction. You can have the knees stacked like we did before. If you want to go single knee, you can do that. Or you can cross the knees. So I'm going to take right knee over left and then drop the legs over to the floor on the right side as your head and chest turn to your left. And unwind your twist and take that to the other side. So if you're crossing, it's left knee over the right, and then they drop over to the left. Right. Unwind out of your twist. Okay. Next, we are going to stretch out to our Shavasana. We're going to do a little pranayama in our Shavasana today. So you might put a little something under your head for comfort, but also to get just a slight tilt of the head downwards, down chin towards your chest. And you might put a blanket, towel, something under your knees. I'm going to show this here. All right, and the objective of this head tilt is not to obstruct the breath at all. It's just merely to make you more aware of the breath. Like this. Okay. And let me just check if my... No, I don't think I am still connected here. All right, so I'll talk you through this not lying down. Oh. Because these headphones keep disconnecting. So I'm going to be seated so that I'm talking towards the camera and to make it easier to hear. Okay, so if this way of breathing agrees with you, great. If not, breathe in some way that is calming and comfortable to you. So essentially, what the overall shape of this is one really long breath, both long inhale and exhale, and then just a normal paced breath. Okay, so one long, one normal. And as you settle into this, what you may find, what I find for me, and I really like, is that the overall pace of it, so the pace of even that normal, quote unquote, normal breath, that starts to get, lengthened out when it's in between these really deliberately long breaths. All right, so I'm going to start with a long breath. And so nice, smooth, long breath in. Feeling back, side, front ribs expand. And then slow, very long Neat. Exhale out. And then just a normal inhale. And exhale. All right. So keep going with that pattern. A really slow breath, and then a normal breath. I also think of normal as a breath where I'm just being less bossy, just kind of letting the breath go at a pace that feels good. Okay. So we'll take a couple minutes with this way of breathing. And a note on when you're doing the normal breath, it's also a normal depth as well, like more normal length, but also normal depth. On the long ones, you're really, really trying to fill up, really trying to expand, and then trying to get really, really, really empty and fully exhale. And on the ones in between that, it's maybe like half in and half out, just sort of what, the breath does with our bossiness. Start to move into what in this moment is a normal, comfortable, easy breath rhythm. Just kind of drawing back, and now just being loving observers of our breath. Go to the center of your brain. A gentle wiggle of your fingers and toes. So your head swivels side to side. And then bend your knees and roll over onto one side. And then push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. For the closing Om of our morning practice, bring the palms together at your heart. First, exhale fully. Then a deep inhale. Thank you all so much for your energy, your breath, your movement this morning, or whatever time of day you happen to be watching it, if it's not live. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, send them to the email listed for my PayPal in the donation. Thank you, Sharon, you too. Donation info in the description of this video, because that's also an actual email. And you can send and ask me questions, requests. There's other classes, times you'd be interested in, looking to expand these online offerings while we're sheltering in place. So, thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day.